Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, we're just going to get right into it. Just to let the world know, I hope we understand that the migrants, for the most part, are not going anywhere. I know we are hoping that once November come around, that a lot of us are hoping, I'll say that someone, either Donald Trump or someone like him, comes in and rids the country of all these illegal migrants that are in the country, flooding the gates. And they're gonna come in and then ship them all back. Well, the article here in the New York Post kind of put everything in perspective. So let's get into it. This is from, like I said, the New York Post, and it reads, 400,000 migrants flown to U.S. under Biden parole program likely staying here forever, says the experts. Now, I could be wrong. Donald Trump could come around and somehow get them on out of here, but we'll see. Let's just get started. Let's see. It says the roughly 400,000 migrants allowed in the U.S. under the Biden administration's Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan HCVN parole program, will most likely stay in the United States indefinitely, several experts told the Post. The program first began in October 2022 from Venezuelans and was expanded in November 2023 to allow 30,000 migrants per month to enter the U.S. for up to 2 years for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit. Now, the Venezuelan, if I'm not mistaken, that's where the U.S. put the oil restrictions because of how, because of, humanitarian reasons. They try to, they're saying something about how, the election process was not democratic and how, how they were treating their people and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. I'll get into later, details later. Matter of fact, let me see. Do I have it such a, yeah, they're having sanctions on the U.S. And the first thing they did is stop, the world, which is crazy, from purchasing oil from Venezuela. Because if you, that's the key to being a quote unquote superpower, which is why a lot of countries are getting together, I feel, and going against the U.S. because the U.S. has too much control over the world and people are tired of it. They've been tired of it. And so now these other countries are ready to make a change, and it all starts with the dollar. There's a country in Africa, I believe, that is attempting to create a currency that's backed by the gold standard, which is what got Gaddafi more than likely taken out, because he was a leader, had a lot of money, had more money than anybody could think of, and was going to put his country's monetary system under the gold standard, when the U.S. is what you call fiat. It's like a fiat system where it's just backed by the promises that you say that whatever you say the dollar's worth, that's what it's worth, which is crazy because that's how they can create money out of thin air and ship it all over the world. And then when they run out, they can just try to increase your taxes and get it from you. But anyway, that's how it started with Venezuela. They put sanctions on Venezuela, said Venezuela could not, ship out oil, this and the third. So that destroyed their country economy. So what they do, they say, matter of fact, what we'll do is we'll take a lot of your immigrants. If y'all want to come over here and start a better life in a real country that's going to do right by you and treat you like human beings, which is a lie, come on to the U.S. And that's how it started. So the problem is with that issue is you created a problem and then you quote unquote tried to fix it, which is just the work of the devil himself. Let's see. Department of Homeland Security data revealed 400,000 migrants have taken advantage of the program by the end of February. Immigration experts say the huge influx, equivalent to 1,000 people a day, and that's a lot, are unlikely to simply go home at the end of the 2-year parole period. Quote, they're overwhelming the system, which more than likely will result in these people staying here forever, Donald Trump's former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Tom Homan told the Post. Think about it. you see stories where they tell us that a lot of these people they can't find. You know, they come over here, they get processed, they get a court date, and some of them got court dates that are like years away. And then they give them some kind of phone or tracking device, which, come on. How many of y'all have family members, or even yourself maybe, got a phone, lost it, broke it? You done had like 2 or 3 phones in the past year. You know what I'm saying? Well, not me. I've had my phone for about a good 6 years. Matter of fact, I got a congratulations from my phone carrier that said, thank you for being a customer for over 20 years. And I had the same phone number, been having the same phone number forever, like since my oldest was a baby. So amazing. So like I say, I mean, even to track a lot of these people, we ain't just talking about this program. We're just talking about, immigrants, illegal immigrants in general. It's just going to be hard to find these people. But they could probably do it, technology is a beast. So I'm sure they probably could find everybody and ship them out. But, you're going to have some casualties and people ain't going to like that. But hey, it says parolees have 3 options. DHS can extend their parole period. They can hire a lawyer to establish legal residency or illegally overstay in the U.S. The Biden administration is not likely to hunt down parolees who merely overstay their 2 years in the U.S. home, and said. ICE is not looking for non-criminal fugitives. They're not, Holman said. However, under a second Trump administration, migrants overstaying the U.S. would be more likely to become a target for removal, according to Holman. Former ICE field office director John Fabricatore confirmed to the Post that the parolees on the program are not removed by the Biden administration. Many are likely to overstay and be added to the non-detained ICE docket, meaning they will be listed but not actively pursued. They say he warned that docket currently has around, he won red? What? They wrote that wrong. He warned that docket currently has around 7 million cases ICE is already monitoring. How you gonna find 7 million people? Like seriously, 7 million people that you are not looking for, but you are monitoring. How in the heck are you gonna find them? Explain that to me. The parole process is supposed to be utilized for those with urgent humanitarian reasons. But Fabricatore claims it's been improperly used as an immigration status. Of course, people are gonna always find a way to learn a rule, learn a law, and then figure out a way to bend the rules, I would say, right? So it says retired deputy patrol agent in charge of the El Paso station, Clay Thomas, added he expects parole periods to be automatically extended because that's the easiest option. They're not going to have people tracking them down, so they're just going to do a blanket extension on the 2 years because that's just a click of a button, Thomas told the Post, adding it would be nearly impossible to find tens of thousands of people given the volume of people and the lack of tracking on migrants. Migrants on parole do have a range of legal options open to them for extending their stay legally. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot deeper and there's a lot more going on with this than what we know, than what they put out, which is why, you have to research to see exactly what's going on and like the details, because it ain't just as simple as, hey, you want to come over here, jump on a plane and get here. Hell, it's even more deeper than just you get to the border, you process you, give you a court date, and now you're free to go. It don't just start and stop with that. Like I said, there are loopholes, there are legal ways for the people to stay, kind of like, what do you call them? People who not squatters. Yeah, squatter, I can say, hell, y'all can say squatters, or even people who don't pay rent. When people get evicted, right? Thing about evictions, I know, like especially in the state of Texas, that if someone is getting kicked out of the apartment or the home that they live in, this is a process that takes months. Now they have more recently in the last few years or whatever, tried to make it to where it's a quicker process to get people up out them houses. But usually it takes months before they put your stuff on outside on the sidewalk. So if you see that, that means the people who stayed there hadn't paid rent in months, because they got, they got rights. It's like squatters. They got rights, unfortunately, which is why now, since the illegal immigrants are figuring out how to use squatter rights for their advantage to live somewhere, now they're trying to change the rules. All those squatter rights have been around forever. It wasn't really a problem until people who were not of a certain persuasion started using it. It says Cubans, for example, are able to apply for permanent residency, commonly known as a green card, after 1 year in the U.S. thanks to the Cuban Adjustment Act, according to Miami-based immigration attorney Maria Herrera Malado. All parolees who arrive through the program can apply for visas, asylum, and some can try for temporary protected status, which temporarily shields them from removal based on issues in their home country, like Venezuela, like I said, whose government has been sanctioned and can't ship out or sell oil unless the U.S. approved. I think they approved. I think it was some oil company they approved, but that was the company that America get paid from. So most commonly, Venezuelan, Haitian, and Nicaraguan parolees often arrive through the parole program and then apply for asylum while in the U.S., Mulatto said. Like I said, Haiti, I can understand that because of what they're going through. They always going through something, but more recently with the takeover and all that kind of stuff, I can understand them come on here. Nicaragua, I don't know too much about them. A subpoena from the House Homeland Security Committee recently made the DHS disclose data on the CHVN program showing most migrants paroled in the U.S. are landing in Florida. Amazing. Ron DeSantis, better step your game up, buddy. Roughly 80% of the parolees who arrived between January and August 2023 went to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, and Tampa Bay, according to the data. They're probably just like a hub. It's kind of like when migrants back in the day used to come over here on boats. Where'd they go? New York, Statue of Liberty, what they call it, Ellis Island. Go there, get processed, whatever, and then ship across. Then they free. Well, not say free, but they end up moving around the country. That's probably basically what that is. Mulatto said that her Cuban and Venezuelan clients flying into Miami through the parole program are staying in the area to reunite with their families. This is their final destination, Mulatto said. Oh, damn, I might be wrong. Meanwhile, there's a long line of migrants hoping to be accepted in the program with 1.6 million applicants awaiting approval, DHS says. So hell, you got, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, got 6 months, right? May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, 5 to 6 months. At least to get all these folks in before the election, and maybe things will change. But here's the thing. Here's what I want to say. Like I said, these migrants are not going anywhere. Most of them aren't, unless they leave on their own. We gotta understand it. But what we gotta understand is we got to look at history. We gotta look past our own lives and look at the history of man. And you can go back to books, even the scriptures, and just think about it. I mean, even like the scriptures, there are nations and people in the scriptures that are mentioned that are no longer around. Period. Some have changed the names. Some have even the land that they was on has moved. I think Israel Mecca, has moved around and, been moved around a few times over the past few thousand years. So it's you think about time. What it say? Time comes with change, and change comes with time. Shout out to Big Mike. Saying Something Serious album was it 1993. Yeah, but that's just a saying that I keep in my head and I understand, because things are not going to stay the same. It's just not. You eventually you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone in order to survive. The resourceful, you can look at maps. Just like I said, just a lot of stuff you can Google. Like there are cities that are no longer around. I've seen documentaries where they'll show you where they used to be like irrigation waterways. They can kind of look at, satellites and do imaging that goes like kind of below the ground. You can see where there used to be like waterways, irrigation systems for people that lived in that area, who lived off the crops, off the animals, what have you. And they just eventually, water ran out, the food supply run out, and they just move. They just move around. With that, even speaking on that, like I live in an area where there used to be a lot of corn and I think sunflower crops. And you had people that own land on both sides of the highway, and they would grow corn. You notice there would be corn on one side, but not the other. One year, and then the next year to be corn on this side and not that side. Well, that's because, you got to till that land and let it, regenerate. What do they call it? Regenerate. You just can't do it all the time, because if you keep doing it all the time, it becomes useless, because you're not giving it time to break down and regrow and regenerate, like the nutrients and the sun and the rain, bringing in all the stuff you need so you can have a great crop, coming in 2 years from now. So it's like if you're in one spot and you steadily using that land, using that soil in one area, eventually it's going to become, unless you find a way to, like I said, to regenerate, it's going to become useless and you're going to have to move. So my point is, things change over time. It's just people move over time. Think about your own family. I know a lot of y'all probably haven't left your city in your whole life, or even your state or your country. Now, I grew up, born and raised in Texas, and probably will continue to live and probably live in Texas till the day I die. But hell, my children have lived or living out of state. Because I told them, hey, young, whatever you got, you the only responsibility you got, see the world. They have traveled, they've been around the country, out the country. Just what that's what I feel that humans should do. Because the world is big and it's vast, and one day you got to see what's outside your little town, because you got to see how the rest of the world works, because one day you just may need to go there, just like these illegal immigrants, for whatever reason, whether we like it or not. And we can't blame them for trying to find something better or taking advantage of a system that's going to placate to their wants and needs. Can't get mad at them. You can get upset with the government for allowing things to get out of hand, but the people that's coming over here, I can't be mad at them. I just deal with them accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But just like them, they move around. One day, you may have to move around. So, and no, I'm not saying don't fight, because yes, you don't let nobody take what is yours or what you feel is yours unless otherwise proven. You don't just you don't just fold and bend, but you fight. But then sometimes you got to fight to a certain extent, because everybody doesn't win. Everybody doesn't win every battle, and sure enough, only one person wins the war. So you have to choose your battles wisely. If it means, as a people, banding together, because you got to see where your power is. If you got power in your local elections, in your local politics, then yeah, you can fight and you can get people moved. But eventually somebody's going to figure out how to, get past what and what you can do, and destroy it. Think about the Italians or the Irish. The Irish, came over here and they was treated, as they say, second and third class citizens. So what they do, they infiltrated the police system, law enforcement, government, what have you, and was pretty much running it after a while, which is something that I have stated before. It's like, if you want to make a change, you got to find a way to get inside, see what's going on, and then bring your people in to make change. They say the Irish with the police department up like in Boston and New York, stuff like that. Shoot, heck, I even joined my local HOA trying to see what the problem is, because didn't like the way it ran. So I'm like going inside to see if there could be a change. If it can't be a change, then we're going to, we get rid of it. It's just find a way to get rid of it. It's just as simple as that. But that's how you do it. Shoot, even in the medical field, nursing, I noticed that I've worked at places where foreigners have got hired, moved up the ranks, and then bring in their own people. When positions come open, they tell their people, hey, come over here, come over there. Hell, I done that. You know what I'm saying? I done that. Some folks need a job. If I know somebody need a job and you know they credible, I mean, hell, we all do it. It's like what, nepotism? But hey, that's what we do. And it's like, hey, telling people, hey man, there's a job over here. You know what I'm saying? You want it? I got you. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? I can get you in, blah, blah, blah. That's just what you do. But like I said, you do it in order for the benefit. So that way you can benefit your people. And that's just, you know, that's as simple as that. But like I say, things change, man. And I know we're comfortable in this country, but things are changing, things, and maybe not for the better for us. So you have to learn how to, adjust. But in the end, I always remember the resourceful are the ones who survive, not the people who have resources. I'm not saying that you got to be a millionaire and you know, have like 5 properties across the world and got, you know, visas and what do you call them, passports and all this kind of stuff, and know somebody in the government who can get you somewhere. I mean, resourceful people. And we're talking about people who have nothing but find a way to make something out of it. You figure it out. And that's the way you're going to have to survive, is figuring out what's going on in this world, in this country, especially with this migrant or illegal, the illegal part of the migrant crisis, and figure out how to navigate and figure out how to survive. Like I say, the resourceful are the ones who are going to survive. You know what I'm saying? In the story. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Hey, let's dialogue. You know, let's talk about it. Let's have intelligent conversations around here. You know how we do. Hey, support the channel. There's 4 ways you can support the channel non-monetarily. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. All 4 probably take you a minute, 2 out your day. It help the channel, help boost it in the algorithm, get this message out there to more people. If you want to support financially, you can super chat, super thanks at any time, or even go in the description box, click on a couple of links. You can help support there. But with that being said, hey, like I said, no matter how you support, I appreciate it. I thank you. You know what I'm saying? From the bottom of my heart. And with that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.